Hello, folks. Hope everybody's doing okay. Today, I'm going to cover Lazarus and the rich man and a few other important points in the book of Luke. So, before I get started, I want to cover a few little other small items in Luke, like I said. I keep coming up with these coincidences, which I'm going to start calling them God winks, because I'm pretty sure that's what they are. I don't believe in coincidence ever since I got to know the Lord. Anyway, I always start my day reading this little daily devotional on my Bible app. It's called Version. It's at the church. It was up on the screen. So anyway, I read that when I wake up. And today it was Luke 16:10. He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much. And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much. Then I sit down and eat breakfast, and then after breakfast I read my book version of morning devotional. And I recommend this and I read this. It's called Jesus Calling. It's a very good book. It's got every day throughout the year in there, and you can read your happy little message and then get on with the day, which is a nice way to start the day. And then I read that every morning. Then I read a chapter in the Bible. Well, today, after reading that verse in the Bible app, I open up my Bible, which I'm an old-fashioned guy. I read the original King James, the old King James. Oh, Ruby, watch out. Daddy dropped the Bible, didn't he? I'm sorry, baby. Get up in your chair. And of course, where would it be when I opened up the Bible today, where I left off yesterday? Sure enough, Luke. And there was Luke 16:10. Now, this is getting too common. There has to be some kind of message here. I don't know. So also in the book of Luke, there is an often misunderstood verse. Luke 14, verse 26. If any man come to me and hate not his father, mother, wife, children, brethren, sisters, yea, and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Well, no, this isn't right, because one of the 10 Commandments is honor thy mother and thy father. So we break out the Strong's Concordance, which I also recommend everybody have one of these. Every word in the original King James Bible is in this book. If you don't believe me, look how thick that baby is. It's got all the Hebrew and the Greek and the Aramaic. And you can look it up. So I looked up Luke 14:26 as it is used in Luke, and you'll find it can also mean love less, which makes a lot more sense. So it's handy to have, so you can dig into stuff like that. Anyway, also in Luke chapter 16, verses 19 through 31, is the story of Lazarus and the rich man. So let's go there today. Luke 16:19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. 20. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid up at the gate, full of sores. 21. And desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died, and he was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died, and he was buried. Interesting how Lazarus, a poor innocent little beggar, was carried by the angels into heaven, into the bosom of Abraham. And the rich man, who didn't care about anybody but himself, went straight to where, you know where? The flaming place. 23. And in hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and sees Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. 24. And he cried out and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But 25. But Abraham said, Son, remember that in your lifetime you received many good things, and likewise Lazarus many evil things. But now he is comforted, and now art tormented. 26. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. So the rich man is in hell, and he can see over into heaven, but he can't get there because there's this big gulf, which is a giant chasm, kind of like the Grand Canyon or whatever, dividing the two, so you can't go from here to there. And I'm guessing if you're in heaven, you can't see those in hell, because there won't be any sadness in heaven, and you don't want to see old Uncle Ned over there frying like a crispy piece of bacon. So I'm guessing they can see from hell to heaven, but you can't see from heaven to hell. I don't know. Just that's what I gathered from that. Anyway, 27. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou would send him to my father's house. 28. For I have 5 brothers, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. 29. Abraham said to him, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. 30. And he said, No, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. 31. And he said unto him, If they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded though one rose from the dead. Hello, remember Jesus? You already blew it. You had your chance. Anyway, thank you very much for watching again this week. Press that thumbs up button to like the video. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Share this with your friends and family. And I'll see you next week.